On. Hi, everyone. I was supposed to give a 5 countdown to the team, and I did not. What a great way to start. Welcome to the Quick Win Collective. Everyone is coming in. Let's get the chat warmed up. You are in the right spot. I know you were expecting to see the great Jimmy Burgess. He is off with a very important family event today that I don't think was really on his radar until most recently. And as we all know, he is a dedicated family man. And so we want to wish him well and give him the space to be where he needs to be right now. So when you have an opportunity, show him some love. But for now, get into the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from. We've got a great show for you today. We've got the great Vince Leisey, President and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Great to have him here. We have Marc Davison, who is probably the most brilliant mind in real estate in terms of marketing that I have ever met in my 32 years in this business. And then, of course, the great Marie Boatsman, a friend of the show, a frequent attendee. I think, Marie, like at Saturday Night Live, we have to come up with like a jacket or something, you know, how many 5 times where you've shown up or something like that, because you've been on many, many times. And so we're really grateful for that. And then my partner in crime, Rachel Monroe, always behind the scenes, always helping out with everything. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody's coming into the chat. That's great. We're also live on YouTube. So thank you so much. All right, I'm going to pull Vince up. Vince, how are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you, Sam. Good to talk with you.
Likewise. So give us just a quick update. What's happening in your world?
We're working on a lot of things, both in the network and things like that. So we're rolling out some additional things, but it's everything we're doing is really focusing on what can we do to make agents grow their business? How do we help agents? How do we help brokers take that business to the next level? And what we're doing here today is just a big part of it. This marketing of how do we think different, right? What's the mindset? And just sharing ideas. And our goal is for you guys to always pick up ideas from Marie and Mark and these great agents that we have doing things, and implement them based on your personality and your style to do business, to help you, build and nurture stronger relationships and take your business to the next level. So a lot of things going on, and we got a lot, in the network. We got Summit coming up, and we got Explosion coming up, and so a lot of great things, and Stronger Together for the home services company. So a lot of big events coming up that we're excited and ready for.
I don't know if there's anyone in the business that focuses more on agents being authentically themselves than you. And you've had a tremendous amount of success over the decades in that spirit. And I have to tell you, it didn't shine through to me until I actually went to your office and was able to tour that amazing office that you've created, that amazing environment that you've created, and walking through and seeing all of the different agent spaces that they have created for themselves. And it just shows the dedication, not only that I think they have, but more importantly, you have to them. So I really want to thank you for that type of leadership. And for the audience, if you haven't had a chance to get out to Omaha, 1, Omaha's a great town. 2, you got to stop in to see my brother Vince, because I will tell you, you'll walk away with a whole new impression of how to run an office. It is fantastic.
Yeah, well, you're always welcome out here, guys. And agents, right, have some strong personalities. We're all a little ADHD, so it's always fun for me to let them go and design their offices and put their personalities in there. And like they're more comfortable to be in their office at that point in time. So with that, Sam, I'm gonna kick this thing off and get the great Marc Davison here rolling with us. Marc, we've got some survey results, some consumer sentiment. You're gonna throw some, I think, some of that up there, and then talk about how we use some of that stuff and from a marketing perspective. So I think, one of the most important parts of this relationship that Marc and I created was, says he's always told me marketing's based on understanding not what we as the agents think or we as the brokers think, but what's the consumer, the buyer and seller in the marketplace really thinking, because sometimes we miss the spot. So Marc, tell us what our last survey results talk about, what they're saying to you, and how you would implement some of those and give us some marketing ideas. And then Marie, we're going to have you dive in. If you see anything that sticks out to you, we're going to dive into your stuff later. And we're excited about that.
Cool. I think, Sam, I'm going to share my screen if that's possible. Sharing is not turned on. So send request.
Good to
now I
go.
can share. Okay.
Thanks,
So
Sam.
exactly, Vince. We're trying to help everybody, not market better. That's just a rung on the ladder. We're trying to help everybody build their business, and the reason is because there's a lot of competition, and the consumer doesn't really have the tools to understand who is better for them and who is right for them. So when they go to choose, they're choosing based upon, I don't know, a friend told them to, a friend made a recommendation, or they just happened to see a sign, or whatever means that they're making choices. It's usually not based upon some deeper sense of like the value proposition that you bring. So all of this is aligned to help you build business and steal business from your competitor. This was the research that we did. What gets you hired? So, there is a lot of survey results that we got from a lot of questions that we asked. And so, as I've always been saying, marketing is first and foremost, it's intel. So all this inbound information that's coming from the marketplace is telling us what we need to know. And what we need to know is, A, how do we maybe curate different tools or different sets of services? How do we provide different sets of services to meet people where they're at? And then you get to the marketing side of it, which is like, how do we communicate how well we perceive the marketplace's concerns, issues, needs, desires, and stand out from the crowd. One overlying component that came out of all this, and I will share with you one of the slides that show it, is to the marketplace. Real estate tends to all look alike. There's a lot of sameness. That is a word that has come up quite often. I've been talking about it. My agency's been talking about it because we've been in receipt of this information for that long. So it's a constant theme over and over. And in this particular report, this is one of the slides that I pulled out. And I'm just want to get rid of this thing. Okay. I'm going to show you some survey results. And then I'm going to show you ways in which you can communicate so that you can stand out and reach people where it matters most. An underlining theme across all of this is that sameness component. A way to get you all out of saying the same thing and doing the same thing everybody else is doing so that you could stand out. Now, Vince, you always say this. Don't necessarily take this, cut it, and paste it and use it. This is generic ad copy that I'm writing in my voice.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to ask a question that popped up here, which I'm struggling with too, but I'm old. Can you expand? Yes, so we can read that a little better. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. You think you're old? I think I got 20 years on you. So
you don't have 20 years on me, but
I might have to blow this up to 200. All right, so the first question
Thank you.
is, what did you see in your real estate agent's advertising that helped convince them to hire you? Look at these numbers. Starting with the most responded, 55% say that sales results. You're all going to go, yeah, duh, of course. But right after you do that, go to your websites and look and see where you can find those results and how clear and expressive those results are to the consumers. Half of them are saying, and look at the other half, homes for sale in my area. Their credentials. Where are your credentials? And I'm not talking about the acronyms that come after your name that you get after a 12-hour or a 5-hour course. We're talking about real credentials. So when you look at these results, it really starts to play out in your head as like, you know what, we are promoting ourselves to the marketplace with all the wrong information. This is really a map toward how to get in front of them. So,
Hey, Mark, can we try something? Can you click on up at the top of your top left-hand side of your screen says slideshow? There you go. But that's much. I think that's much better. for the
Much better.
Yeah, guys, I rarely run my own decks on, so thank you
Mark,
for
that's
that.
more than me. I never do. My assistant is sitting right
Uh,
over here. She would be doing all this for me. Trust
yeah,
me.
yeah, okay, so like,
All
uh,
good. All good.
okay, so
That's why
okay,
we have Sam. That's why we have Sam here, Mark.
so the idea is consumers don't want adjectives, and a lot of marketing includes, top producer, number one, market leader, market expert. None of these things mean anything. They're not really selling credentials. They want numbers. They want proof. They want detail. You know this because it comes up in a presentation when you're actually sitting in front of them at the couch. But like to get to that couch, why wait till you get there to drop the real goods? The whole point of like good marketing is to drop the big goods up front so you can get to the couch before anybody else. And hopefully you're the only one in that living room doing the presentation. So once again, this is just like an aggressive way to change the conversation, write copy that does not look like anything real estate's ever done before. 18 homes sold in your neighborhood this year. That's my pitch. You're selling confidence. You're selling leadership. You're talking about how I don't have 100 things that I'm going to tell you about myself. I'm going to tell you the one thing that I know matters more than anything else, which is I sell real estate where you live. I know the market. I take great care of my clients. I focus on results. Where these ads go, I mean, that's all like tactical discussions that you have with your internal marketing department. You can ask questions here. We have some ideas on, but like you're your own business. So it's really hard for us to come up with like really pinpointed strategies and tactics for however many hundreds of people are on this.
Hey, Mark, for a new agent that may not have those 18 homes sold in that neighborhood, how do you convey that confidence in a similar type of campaign?
I know the answer to that, but I don't want to address that now.
Understood.
That's a whole separate, philosophy that I don't know if my philosophy around that is one that you guys share. But I think if you're a brand new agent, you shouldn't be out there on your own. You should be partnered with the team. You should be part of something so where you can take the credit of the team you're with. If you're completely isolated and on your own and don't have any stats, you're going to have a hard time getting listings this way. I'm not
Mark,
sure what to
Mark,
do.
one of the other things, sorry to interrupt you. One of the other things that you could do as a brand new agent, if you're not on a team, I agree with the team concept, and we're very heavy on the team concept. And I think new agents learn a lot and grow faster being on a team when they're new. But the second thing is you could lean on your brokerage numbers also.
Yep.
And then talk about, internally, those are the people you're seeing on a daily basis in your meetings, right? You have an internal Facebook page. So each one of you need to talk to your own broker, manager, within there, and they should be able to help a new agent lean on the brokerage or the team numbers. But I agree with Mark, being on a team up front is a big, big asset for the vast majority of agents. And we have lots of proof, Sam, here in Omaha, that our agents are much more likely to be in the business 3 to 5 years from now, a brand new agent, if they started out on a team,
Yes.
than if they try to do it on their own.
Agreed.
I mean, that's the right answer, but I felt like it's better coming from you than me suggesting that if that's not the case in your world.
Yeah, that's okay. We all believe it. That's great.
Okay. Every agent says they are the best. I brought a spreadsheet. It's okay to poke a little bit of fun. Everybody's doing the same thing. You're doing something different. We all claim it, so none of it counts. I do not do adjectives. I do data, addresses, sales prices, days on market. Read the spreadsheet and decide for yourself. Again, don't copy and paste this, but what I'm really trying to push here is a way to communicate to the marketplace that doesn't have that sort of, there's a real estate language that people have known and seen for decades and decades. We're trying to break that communication pattern. My marketing plan does not include making trending videos. It includes pricing, staging, and putting your home in front of buyers most likely to want it. Viral videos do not create offers. Targeted marketing does. Okay, I'm taking a little bit of a liberty there because our star guest today does make viral videos and they do generate marketing. But as you will see, that content is in a class all by itself. Most of what we see and most of what the public sees is not Marie quality video. It's a lot of the kind of low level garbage that agents are making, and they're doing it for themselves. This is you telling people you are not here for you, you're here for them. The reason why you do this is because people are hungry for that. That's how you get invited to a meeting. Top producers a label, 41 homes sold is a fact. Anyone can claim that title. I am good with just realtor and doing the job 41 people hired me to do this year. Okay, speaks for itself. A slogan and a sold sign walked into a listing appointment. Only one of them walks out with a listing. It's not the slogan. Something I have often taught, and I do a lot, as you know, if you've been on these before, you'll see there is a pattern to the writing, and it's really set up punchline, very much like a joke. This is how I was mentored 45 years ago at Y&R. This is a construct to write great copy, but every once in a while, like, you could actually write copy that sounds like a joke. It's straight up a joke or a riddle. Again, it shows cleverness, and it shows you're not like everybody else. Also, just take a quick look at these photos. We're trying to also just show you how to maybe do photos that don't also look. There's also a look to agent photos, so we'd want to try to break that pattern as well. Okay. So just more stuff on titles. Real estate agents love to give themselves titles. I prefer to focus on results. See, that's the whole point of this campaign, is results, results, results. 41 homes sold this year, each for the price they were after. Say it. Don't allude to it. Don't bury it. Say it. Some of this stuff could even be like homepage hero image headlines. Okay, I've made the point, but this deck has lots of different options for you. I want to find the results. I think Vince, this is just one of the cases where I just couldn't get the deadline for the podcast happened, and I didn't have the
No, and I would tell you, Mark's been putting these ideas you're seeing are things he's came up with in the last 24 hours, guys.
It's well, maybe like 48 hours. I redid a lot of it over the last. But all right, so let's go here. People want proof. People want to, again, this is just playing into what that whole entire survey that we did is filled with stats that kind of say the very same thing. People want to see details. Okay, so Sam, this is not for the agent that doesn't have any details, and like you guys said, you could borrow from the brokerage, but if you have details, you should be marketing them. Proof over promises. 68 homes closed last year. 99%, 5 days median time on market, compared to maybe an average. That's much higher. This could even be a social media carousel concept. They could be tiles and designs that are on a website. These could be billboards. The whole point here is, what if your entire sales record lived somewhere where people can see it? So, we're thinking about creating a proof ledger. So here's an idea. I don't know if you guys can see this. We're going to get you all the deck, but like, this should be a page on your website that has every single, think of it as, if you're into sports, the only sport I kind of know is baseball, not that much since I moved out of New York, and can't get my beloved Mets on TV out here. But if you buy a baseball card and turn around, no baseball player gets recruited, traded, or paid based upon the front of the baseball card, which is them posing with a bat. Where their money is on the back of the card. How many singles, doubles, triples, home runs, RBIs, and all that stuff, their stats. So I want to see you guys get your stats as front and center as possible. Create some kind of design grid. Why can't this be a hero image? When I land on your website, that very first thing I see, you don't need a picture of your town. That's not going to help them decide whether you have value or not. Local expertise is a deal maker or a deal breaker. So, proven neighborhood experience also ranked very high. People want agents who know the market. Saying you know the market, you could say I know the market. Everybody could say I know the market. So what's a clever way in which to actually get that across? And you can see by the results here, when choosing your real estate agent, how important is it that they have proven experience in the neighborhood?
And Mark, I want to say something. When you talk about being an area expertise for those newer agents, Sam, when you asked that question, I mean, those people can become area expertise really fast in those areas, right? And start doing, which Maria will show a little bit later, some neighborhood or community type of videos and show they're becoming an expertise, even though they don't have all the sales yet. So there's a way to do that and tie those two together for a newer agent into the business.
Oh my God. I mean, if you grow up in a neighborhood, you don't have to be a real estate agent to know the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
So what if we really fixated on total mastery of one place? And I'll just bring this up because this is a reality. When we have worked with brokerages and have tried to do some kind of strategy with their agents by maybe creating an agent search based upon neighborhood, the problem that always kills that idea is, well, our agents sell everywhere. And that might be true, but the reality is you don't sell everywhere. You specialize. You might sell everywhere, but you don't specialize in everywhere. Where I live in Tucson is a big, sprawling city. It's a smaller city, but it's very sprawling. I think if you sell in my neighborhood and you know my neighborhood, you might be able to sell in Oro Valley, but that's 40 minutes away from here. I think it's not strong enough to say you sell everywhere. It's strong to say you specialize in one place. You're going to have trouble seeing this, but here's the idea. I don't sell everywhere. I sell Berkeley, the flats, the hills. I know which blocks hold their value when the market turns and which don't. Buying or selling anywhere else, call me for the one thing I do know, the agent who knows that place as cold as I know Berkeley. That's a power move, guys.
That's a power move for a new agent right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
I am useless in the South End. But in the East End, I know the names of every barista, which blocks never hit the market, and I can tell, and I can call, I'm having trouble seeing this. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of copy here. But this is like having a strong opinion, not being everything for everybody everywhere. That jack of all kinds of trades just has less value to somebody than somebody who is like where everybody lives. That's what you want, an agent who has that expertise. Ask me about Fremont. I can tell you how to get there, and that's it. Ask me about Rockridge, and I'll tell you which block gets the morning fog, which sellers are about to list. So now you're really detailing things about Rockridge that tell people you know it. Just more of that same thing. I don't know Hayward. I've never sold a home in Danville. I would have to spell San Leandro twice to get it right. Okay, now we're infusing a little bit of humor, some self-deprecation. That's cool. It's a good self-deprecation. Play this game. It's a really smart way for people to read this and go, that person's clever, that person's honest, they're being clear, they're telling me what they're good at and what they're not. And then finally, the last bit of stuff is the sameness issue. Why don't you pay attention to agent marketing? 29%. I've never noticed any agent marketing. That should tell you something. You're being advised, if you're attending those places, to ramp up the bullets that you're putting in your shotgun and rat-tat-tatting social media with content. 30%, 1/3 of the marketplace isn't even seeing it. 23%, there's just too much of it and it all feels like spam. 34%. It all looks and sounds the same. You are all being guided and herded down a bad path. Uh, and I think many of you feel it.
Hey, Mark, on that 34% or the people, the percentage that never even see it, is it because their mind is just not thinking about real estate, like they're not moving or buying or selling, or is it that the
Yes.
content is not even reaching their eyeballs?
Well, Sam, great. A, they're not in the market right now. Why would you follow a real estate agent? If you're not buying insurance, why would you follow an insurance agent?
But Mark, as you always say, Sam, when I see that, you know what sticks in my head right off the bat? Mark's comments stick in my head. It all looks and sounds the same. Just listed, just sold, right? It's like it can be a just listed or just sold, and you can market that and it can sound and look different, right? So you don't want to go and do that same thing over and over and over, coming soon, right? I mean, the list goes on and on of things of 90% of agents always do just listed. I mean, why don't they change it up? And that's what was so exciting to me about Mark, and like, let's think differently, right? Let's post a just listed in a different way, and let's not have the words just listed on there.
It's a really
The,
good
the
point.
noise of
because
template becomes invisible.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's brainless. People aren't thinking. They're just taking the new information, sticking it on the same format and verbiage they had before.
You nailed it, guys. Like, you got to pattern interrupt. If you're not pattern interrupting, and if people are seeing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they're not even in the market, they're not even paying attention to it. So the thing is, they might even be seeing it, but they're not noticing it. And there's very few real estate agents who are making social content good enough to be noticed.
So, Mark, with that statement, I hate to cut you off, but I want in the next couple minutes get over to the great Marie and let her start showing some of her stuff and sharing some of the great things she's doing for all of our people.
All right, we're kind of at the end. I'll just showcase some important. These are just ads. I fired the headshot with the crossed arms. You know the one. Me in a
love this.
blazer, big smile, arms folded like I'm about to scold you for something you didn't do. What all we're doing here, guys, is changing the language. So when this does show up, it stands out. I can't paint a straight line to save my life, but I can tell you the one color that helps a house sell. So these are all built on the I can't do this, but I'm really good at that. And in a world where agents are trying to be experts at every single thing, I could do this, I could do that, I could do that, and maybe you can, but like when you're marketing, pattern interrupt, you're trying to say something that highlights what you're the one best thing at in a way that no one else would do it. I can't design your house, I can't pour a foundation or pull a permit, but I can write a contract. The other side can't crack. So study these, study the style by which we're writing, and deploy it on your own. We're going to get, Becca will get this out to you guys, Vince and Sam, a little bit later.
And Mark, again, when we created this program, everyone within the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Network and Home Services of America, you have access to these surveys. Go look at these surveys. Go look at these pieces that Mark's put out there and think differently. And if you think differently, you're going to look more professional. You're going to get better results and continue to take that business to the next level. So
And we'll get these slides out.
Embrace the stuff that we have here.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
we'll get
Sam.
these slides out as soon as we have them from Mark when he wraps up his final touches there, and we'll make sure that everybody here on the call gets a copy.
Perfect. With that, Marie, how you doing?
So good. Thanks for having me.
Excited to have you here. And Marie, I think you met Mark for the first time at Explosion out in Laguna Beach in January. Was that correct?
I actually met him kind of in passing. I went to a Signal event that he did in Portland in 2023, I think. So, and then met him in Laguna, really, and then went to Signal in Denver.
Again, last year.
Yeah.
Well, and I love it. Marie gets off just killing it on a panel on social media and is showing all these videos. And Mark comes up next and says, I'm poking a little fun at Mark here. He's like, I'm going to show you a lot of this stuff, but he says, all this stuff that real estate agents do is self-promotion and it's not marketing and in a nice way. He's like, Marie, that's great what you're doing. You're very creative and you're very talented, but that's not marketing. So Mark and Marie's continued to talk since that point. But I think, Mark, you and I would agree that what she does is very unique, very talented, and very creative with her things. But Marie, I'm going to start this off with, you said that you kind of got away when we talked the other day, away from storytelling. And I think maybe listen to Mark a little bit or something tripped a thought and you're like, I need to get back to storytelling. That's an important part of marketing and not necessarily get rid of all the other things that you're doing from a different perspective. But can you talk about that mindset and show us, please, some of
Yeah.
your posts here? I think that we have for everybody on that storytelling component of the marketing part that you're doing and why you're doing it, just kind of your whole thought process.
I mean, there's definitely a lot to unpack here. I started doing video in 2014. It was like my first big, it took a whole day to produce one video on a house. I brought in people, I had my kids in it. I mean, it was a whole production. We got community footage, house footage, footage of the house with the kid. I mean, it was a lot. And that's kind of the track I started to go down in 2014 was very storytelling. And then I was doing one big video for every home and occasionally a short one here and there, but it really wasn't short form there, it was long form. And as everything shifted to this short form world, I also shifted to short form and, in 2017 started mixing in business highlights and stuff, which we'll dive into in a bit. But, it's evolved. And I will say the busier I got and I got stuck in the rat race of just, I was getting more listings, which is awesome. And that was the goal with doing video, right, is getting more listings and showing your listings off in the best possible light for your sellers, but that's also attracting more listings. And so I started to get so much more and holding myself to the standard of I need to do X amount of videos per home because in my market, things are taking a lot longer to sell. And so one of my main value propositions is going into listing appointments saying, hey, I'm going to kick you out of your home for 4 to 6 hours, but during that time, I'm going to shoot enough content that I will have 8 to 12 videos and a ton of B-roll and marketing for months and months. And hopefully, best case, we don't use it and your home sells right away. But if your home does not sell right away, I'm going to be able to get visibility and eyes on it through months of being on the market potentially, right? And so I got stuck in this trap of like more, which was great, but I went away from the storytelling, which was really where my roots were. And a couple years ago, I told my videographer, I was like, I got to get back to it. Like after COVID, it was just hard to get back and make the time for it. And we're all busy, we're running businesses, we're doing all this marketing, and then you add in this video component, and it is hard to find the time to do it. And so I was getting stuck in this rat race of just kind of pumping out content, for lack of a better way to say it. And I went away from the storytelling. And I, for literally a year and a half, kept saying, I need to get back to it. I need to get back to it. But how do I get back to it now? And how do I do it with short form? Because it's harder and it's shorter. And then Laguna, Mark's there and kind of tears me apart a little bit on stage in the best way. But it was really what I needed to hear to get like kind of that transition back. And so I'm still doing both, I will say. And everything that I've done all of these years, whether it was storytelling or not storytelling, it's been always very intentional, right? And I think I said to both of you on the call the other day, when I'm sitting there figuring out what I'm going to shoot, and I'll talk about kind of that process in a bit too, I just always go back to like, why? Why am I doing it? Is it going to show off my client's house in the best possible light? Is it going to reach buyers or sellers that could potentially be clients? Is it going to help my community? And does it fit with my branding? And if it doesn't, I don't really care how many likes or if it's going to go viral. I won't do it, and that's just kind of me. And if you're stuck in the rat race of copying and chasing trends, it's going to be really hard to put those things first. And our sellers deserve us to be marketing their homes in the best possible light. In this world of AI and everything starting to look the same, like you said, I think if we're doing video, and even if we're not, we owe it to our sellers to get the most eyes on their home, the right buyers to see their home, and really making their home stand out.
Can you maybe dive in and show us a couple examples? And one thing that you just said that I want to point out that I think is very important, I think in most parts of the country, as I'm talking to a lot of you around the country here, is the market has slowed down a little bit with interest rates going up, that's catching up with us, guys. And we're hearing about longer and longer market times. Maria just said that. So, man, make sure you're setting correct expectations up front with these clients, so they're not mad at you a week later because they think your house should be sold.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard setting those expectations. So this is one I actually did in 2023. So you're going to see that like I've been doing these for a while. Sam, do you want to start this one from the beginning, or let me just say, for this one, I really wanted to pull in. This was my client's daughter, and for me, I have found if I can do storytelling and showcasing homes with kids in it, whether it's the client's kids, my kids, someone in the community that I know, bringing them in. It takes the spotlight off of you. It shows off the house. It pulls at emotional heartstrings. Not only does it help sell the home, but it creates a memorable video that people in the neighborhood and the community are going to remember you by. So this is an example of one of those.
I found a happy place, forever happy days. I'm singing. I found a happy place, it's written on my face. We're singing. We're singing. Laugh out loud, bursting at the seams and there's no stop.
The goal of this one was, we wrote my videographer and I wrote like a set list, a shot list, right? I don't know. There's a better way to say this. Mark knows better terms with this, but what were the places we wanted to show off in this home, and how could we do it with her in it to highlight them, right? And so that's what this whole video is based on, kind of making it fun and cute, but showing the main value propositions of this home and why someone would probably buy this home, right? So this is one of them where not in it. The next one we're going to show.
Marie, before you go on, I want to just say something. You sent this to me a couple of weeks ago. I watched it 3 times and then I shared it with my wife. I don't do that with real estate agent content. This doesn't feel like that. I use the term storytelling a lot. This is a story. It's a story of a life without it being like forced down my throat. This is so well done.
And it's fun, right? And you can feel good about it. And it brings smiles. And like I said, it's first and foremost for me, it's showing my clients' homes off in the best possible way, which it does. But it also creates raving fans for life with anyone that's going to watch this in the neighborhood, in the community, right? So I think it serves so many purposes, and it takes the spotlight off of us as agents. It's hard to do. Like, I can't do this on every home. It would not work. But when you have the right home in the right neighborhood with the right people, that's when doing these makes all the difference.
Love it.
Hey, Marie, can you really speak quickly about the copyrighted music? There's been a few questions in there. Do you just bring the video in and then apply it from the music selection inside of Instagram?
Yeah, typically, yes. This was 3 years ago, so I don't honestly remember what we did then. But now, yes, I'm choosing songs through Instagram, and I know there's a lot back end on that, and I might not be doing that all right, but trying to use music on Instagram, or if my videographer is adding something for YouTube or something else, then he's getting it off of lists that we can use.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, so this next one's another with, this actually is another client's kid. We just did this one in June, and this is more fun. So I try to mix in fun with serious, with all the things, part of this, obviously, showing your homes off in the best possible light, but also people see these, right? You want them to get to know you a little bit, your personality, and still show the home off. So this was a fun one that you guys can take a peek at.
Hi, I'm Marie.
I know. I'm Caroline.
It's so nice to meet you, Caroline, and I'm so excited to sell your family's home.
You have to call me Nighthawk.
Oh, okay.
So good. So incredibly
This one
good.
was fun, and my client's daughter just absolutely like killed it. So it was the perfect home. I was a little worried because I'm like, it's a $4 million home. Like I'm doing something maybe a little risky, but having her in it, she crushed it. My videographer crushed it, obviously. So it was really a fun one.
Yep. Absolutely.
Marie, you do use a videographer. We've had Mark Bridget on before, but can you talk about the importance of the videographer?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do in the beginning. I mean, I've been doing this a really long time, so it's evolved a lot over the years. So I think there's a way in the beginning you can shoot your own and do maybe some videographer, some not. I've mainly am to the point now where a lot of mine is videographer. You can tell which ones kind of aren't that I'm doing, but just too many listings to do them myself and to give the consistent quality and keep things the same, which I value, and just the level of listings I'm doing. I do have everything shot from the listing side professionally. And I know this is going to come up, so I'll bring this up now. I get asked a lot, well, how do you come up with these? Like who posts them, who writes them, who does all of this, right? And what I do, again, might not be right for everybody, but when I kind of got stuck in that rut a couple years ago and was like, I've got to get back to more creative. And, for me, as soon as I start to see a lot of agents doing the same thing, I know it's time for me to come up with something different. And I could give a lot of examples of that right now. We've talked about sameness, and there's a lot of sameness, right? If you see big, bright pink or yellow text walking onto the back of someone in a video, like maybe time to try something different, right? Because everybody's doing it. So, I am I'm not, like I said, I got stuck in a rut. I was getting a little bit away from being creative. And, now I set aside time every month, and I've done this for about a year, maybe a little over a year. I got back to it. And, my videographer and I will meet at the end of the month, and we will sit down and we will talk about what's coming up in the next month ahead, right? What listings I have coming, what, of those listings, like, what do I want to show off? Can I use my clients' kids? Are there holidays out there that I can maybe create a video around? Like for one, last year I did an Easter one, and so what holidays are coming up? Is it back to school? Is it Mother's Day? Is it Christmas? What content can I create around those? What small businesses do I maybe want to highlight that next month? And then we will literally sit there and try to brainstorm ideas. So I'll come with ideas. I'm constantly saving ideas. And I think the more video you do and the more you can give your brain space for creative work, you will start to come up with more ideas. I think as you train your brain in a way, right, you'll start to see things in other industries. I often look to other industries to get ideas, or what movies are trending. Like that one we just looked at, that was Step Brothers, and my videographer actually kind of came up with that concept from Step Brothers. And we had banked it for a long time, waiting for the right house and the right person to use it on. And so right now I have a list of ideas for like, okay, with these future houses, right? So we'll meet, we'll do that. We'll be as specific as like sometimes what songs are we going to use, what's trending, around the world right now that we can kind of create something fun around. And so that really helps me kind of stay in my lane, head down, stop trying to like chase trends, right? And kind of create my own thing. So he edits pretty much everything I post, do the verbiage. I'm very hands-on with it. So for me, a lot of people are like, oh, you need to hire someone to do that or use AI more. And I'm like, I feel like if I do that, it's going to take away from my voice and myself. And for me, Instagram has become a huge part of my business, how I get business. It has built tons of relationships. And so I haven't wanted to change mine, so that I try to keep it a little bit more, personal to some degree.
Hey, Marie, out of curiosity, what does each of these kind of production costs for each video run roughly? I realize it's different prices probably all around the country.
Yeah,
For
it's
you,
so hard. I can't really answer that question because I do the videographer I've worked with since 2014. He was my assistant, and we've evolved over time, right? And so I will say, like, when he's been gone and I've had to go out and like, hire somebody else to shoot a few videos, I feel like you can spend anywhere from $150 to $600 a video, maybe depending on like what it is. Is it YouTube? Is it short? Is it 10 seconds? Like I think it's going to vary a ton. But I work with mine on just like a monthly basis in
Yeah,
terms
see.
of like, here's kind of what every month is going to look like, what we're going to fit in, and again, we're doing mainly like if I'm very listing heavy, my month is going to be mainly listings. But when there's time and room, then I'm sneaking in community footage and some personality things and some funny ones. And, sometimes I'll collaborate with, lenders or different things to try to do, some out of the
And
box
I,
things.
we are going to get to that because some of you, right? The evolution in real estate is typically you start out in this business. The newer agents typically do not have listings. That's typically more experienced agents. And you're going to talk a little bit about things you can do to attract buyers and sellers, talking about businesses and community and neighborhoods and all those type of things here in a little bit.
Yeah, and I think the one biggest thing too is, figure out, and Mark might have different thoughts on this too, but for me, again, I said before, like if it doesn't align with either helping my sellers, kind of why I'm doing it, I won't do it. But I think for anyone starting to, you kind of need to figure out like who you are, what you want to be known for before you're deciding what to post. Like, I don't think you should just post to post. I think you need to post with intention and, is it educational? Is it community? Is it storytelling? Is it your listings? Is it, relationships, your personality? And I think there's a lot of confusion out there right now, I think, in the real estate industry. And we talked about this the other day, Mark, a little bit with like real estate agents becoming influencers or trying to follow influencers. But I think we cannot confuse attention with trust, right? A reel that's getting 1,000 views isn't going to likely be more valuable for anyone in real estate than maybe a reel getting I meant 100,000 views. I don't know if I said 100,000, but like then a reel that's maybe getting 1,000 views, right? If the 1,000 views are coming from the right people, that's what's important. The goal is not like viral on every video. I think the goal is to have the video reach that person that's quietly watching for 6 months or a year and remembering you. And when their neighbor sells, when their neighbor says like we're thinking about selling or they're thinking about buying or selling, they're going to think of you, right? So I think we get stuck in this rat race of we have to do this and we have to get this many views and it has to hit this many people. And I think we're losing the why we should be doing it in the first place.
Perfect. You got a couple more videos you'd like to share with us?
Sure. I'm not remembering which one is next, but I think
Hey guys, just before we go on,
Please.
Marie, you said something important, which is I think I'm seeing a lot of questions coming in the chat around what you just said that should get an answer. It seems to me that there's been just so much emphasis and push towards social media that's become the only medium that people think is the way you advertise and market. That is so incorrect. And the data is proving that people are not seeing it. That's not where the marketplace is. The marketplace is driving around town. Out of home. Out of home is an agency term. It means like bus stop benches, billboards, shopping carts, all this stuff agents have historically advertised on that we all abandoned. If video is not your thing, like this is your thing. You are so good at it. You're about as good as it gets on this. I think the audience should not feel intimidated to do this or try to be this good. You're getting success because you're a filmmaker. That's how your brain thinks.
let me just say it didn't used to though. This has been 12 years of
Exactly.
doing this. And if you go back and look even 5 years ago or 10 years ago, it's gonna look completely different than what it is now. I didn't have any confidence. I didn't know what I was doing. I definitely still often don't know what I'm doing, so it evolves. And I think we all have our thing, and maybe your thing is door knocking or expired listings or something. Mine became video, right? I mean, loving on my clients in video. And so after years and years, it's just changed. And someone on here was like, I love your confidence in these. Like, I'm not that confident. It's just, I think I've partly given up on what people are going to necessarily think. And I know that it's getting me business and that it's getting my listings in front of a lot of people.
Well, you're marketing listings. You're showing up as the agent representing a house. So these videos don't look like you're the star of the show. You're making the properties. That's why it's working. But there's nothing wrong with door knocking. I know somebody who has built a huge business who still door knocks.
Yep.
Postcards, if they say something other than just listed events,
Yep.
billboard ads, out of home ads, they're all highly effective if you just do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency, Vince, is the word that comes to my
Yes.
mind as every time I hear Marie speak. She's passionate, she's consistent, and she's creative. And so I think that's the exact formula, whether you're a door knocker, you're a postcard sender, you're a networker, or you create amazing videos like Marie does.
Yeah. Marie, I know we got 3 or 4 more videos to get through, so I'm gonna let you roll with them.
Okay. So just back to a little bit of storytelling. The next one, what I've been starting to do on my listings is, especially ones that are bigger properties or have a good story behind them, is I've been sending out a questionnaire, and I make it based on the house. So it's not like a template, but I'll just send questions that I'm curious out to my clients and be like, hey, can you respond to these 15 things? Maybe their favorite memories in the home, or why they bought that home in the first place, or when they go out and have morning coffee on their porch, what do they see? Like literally little things like that. And then I've been trying to turn that into like a storytelling video. So this is an example of one. We definitely don't have to play the whole thing, Sam, but there's a big story around this vineyard. They lived in the outbuilding while they built this. Grandkids helped plant the vines. So we used kind of some of their photos and that into this. So that's what this video is. By Beam, a vision brought to life.
Sorry, let me restart it.
On a south-facing slope above the Willamette Valley, a family decided that this land deserves something extraordinary, and it all started with a hillside, a blueprint, and a dream that has become a legacy. The house went up beam by beam, a vision brought to life. Hand-selected timbers crowned the great room and wine cellar. Mantles salvaged from the original Selwood Bridge carry a piece of Oregon history into the home. Reclaimed barnwood frames the wine cellar doorway. Italian Journey shaped the arch doors, the ironwork, the shutters, and the water features. The iron doors, custom forged by an artisan whose family left its own mark on Oregon's state capitol. And while the house was still finding its walls, the vineyard was already going in. Even the grandkids helped break the ground. A true family affair. Year after year, the vines grew. Season by season, this hillside on
So, just kind of back to the storytelling piece. I think the next video is community. So community video for me, when I started doing these, I come from a small business family, and I just have a heart for small businesses and literally love shining the light on small businesses. I never, when I started doing those, ever expected it to impact my business as much as it had. The relationships I built with business owners, the community, just how you're viewed in the community, it shifted everything for me. And again, I didn't go into it thinking it was going to do that. I went into it because I was passionate about it. So I think that goes back to find something that you really love, and if you can create video around it, it amplifies 10 times, even more than you probably think. So when I don't have a million listings every month and I have time, I love doing these community videos. So this is a newer winery that had gone in. It was absolutely amazing. And so we wanted to come up with a couple different ideas for it. So if I have time, I'll try to come up with something that's kind of fun and trendy. And then I'll do another one that's really more of an elevated showcase for that business. So this was the fun one. I suckered my managing broker into it.
If you were in your office right now, we'd be having this conversation face to face. Where are you now?
I'm sitting in my office.
I doubt that.
And why would you doubt that?
If you were in your office right now, we'd be having this conversation face to face.
So anyway, so that was just kind of a fun one. So I posted this like the week before I posted like the main video, which maybe just play a few seconds of it, Sam, just to like show that that one was fun. This was more elevated.
The Sky Terrace open aired with sweeping valley views. This secret sultry speakeasy. Relax, play, or just hang out in this rec room.
So this one had just opened. I've also found huge success, and if you can find out a business that's like not open yet but coming to town, those have been huge. And now the cool thing is people will start to DM me and be like, hey, just so you know, like this business is coming, right? And so getting a little insider information on like what's coming and being able to like put that out there in the community will eat that alive. So this is that next one.
Sherwood is about to get a whole lot sweeter. There's a new spot coming to town, and it's the first one ever in Oregon. Rumor has it, it's Stella's Ice Cream. Idaho's favorite scoop shop is landing right here next to Langer's, serving what they're known for best, scoops and smiles. So tell me, Mint Chip, Rocky Road?
Anyway, that's kind
Or are
of
you going straight for
the community piece. So again, find something you're passionate about, and you know, I think it's changed for sure my business. The next couple are more storytelling around like evidence. Oh, I forgot about this one. Sorry. This one was a new swim school coming into town, and they have a little mascot that's name is Bubbles. And we wanted to create something that was short, punchy. We could use Bubbles. And so we took Bubbles through a stroll through like the little town, and I used intentionally like shots that would show other small local businesses in the area in the background, because then you can tag those businesses, they're getting a little love, they'll share it, right? And so it just helps, again, get the videos out there. So this was kind of a fun one.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be served like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too.
So they hadn't opened yet. So it was kind of a sneak peek into that business. In terms of this next one, so this was more storytelling, like Mark has really said a lot, you know, instead of just sold, just listed, you know, kind of that people want numbers. They do want to see what you're doing. And I have to remind myself that often because I'm not great about posting like these kinds of things anymore, because it's so real and listing heavy. But I'm like, people do want like to know what you're doing, and they want to see that you can sell homes and things are actually closing. So this one I took in terms of like a, you know, just what my May and June had looked like. And I tried to story tell around each closing. I've done these a couple times in the past, even with like pendings and stuff, if I, you know, haven't had as many closings for each month, but this was kind of a fun one just to show that things are selling and I am actually doing business and not just reels. I think anytime you can create some educational content that's not in your face, I think we need to again remember, like, you know, there's a lot of noise in our industry, and so posting noise isn't going to get the right attention. And so it's, what do consumers care about? What is going to stand out from the crowd? And so when I'm doing things like this, like, don't hire me just to open doors, right? Hire me for these things. This one kind of took off. This was 2014 or 2020, sorry, 24. This was right around the times everything was changing with buyer representation. And so I was like, okay, there's so much noise on it, but what can I do that's actually going to get in front of people and like mean something, right? And so this one got a lot of attention. And I think if you can create things like this around different things we do, it's just a nice, different way to put it out there. So it doesn't always have to be a video. And then neighborhoods. Vince really wanted to show something that was kind of like neighborhoods. If you don't have a lot of listings, you can do business videos, you can do, community videos, you can do top 7 neighborhoods in your area or really anything. So this was one we did. And again, this is old too. This is 2025. And this is 7 neighborhoods that, I thought people needing, would want to know about if they were moving to Sherwood.
Mark, thoughts on what Marie is doing here? Because she's doing a
Thinking
lot
of
of
moving-
great stuff. Oh, sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
Need to know about.
Show you my world.
I really just introed this, and then I introed this. We took B-roll of each and did it this way. I did a longer one for YouTube where I talked about each neighborhood. So we kind of shot a vertical and a horizontal at each of these places when we were out there.
And I know we're over time, but we can stick on here for a couple more minutes if you guys have time. But Mark, can you talk about some of the things that Marie is doing and your thoughts around them? Because we know she's doing a lot of great stuff here. And I love that we talk about not just listings, but we're talking about businesses, we're talking about neighborhoods, we're talking about community and other things, because there's a lot of things to do. It's not single focused on one issue.
Yep. Mark, you're on mute.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. First off, I'm homesick, Marie. My Portland was downtown Pearl. It was a sad story.
Yeah.
You're showing a whole other side of home. I mean, what can I say, Vince? She's not making content. I think I told you this earlier in the week. Content is a fancy word for meaningless garbage that the world didn't need. You're marketing. Okay, you're making content or information that sellers and buyers need to know and see. You're showing value. I think if you walked in, if I saw these, I would invite you to a listing presentation, and I would ask you a whole bunch of different. I wouldn't bother asking you about your marketing. It's clear. I wouldn't waste your time. You would likely get the listing, which is likely what's happening. You're making these and you're seeing ROI. Mm-hmm. That's my bigger point, Vince, is most agents are not seeing return on any investment, whether it's financial or time invested in creating social content, because they're playing the influencer game. They're trying to be influencers, and they're making influencer level marketing, which is all that's really being taught to real estate agents. It's just throw stuff out there. This is not that at all. And I made my other point, Marie, this is your sweet spot, but maybe the question I would like to ask you is, beyond social content like this, what else are you doing that's part of the grander marketing thing? And maybe that's a whole nother discussion worth having, because not everybody is acclimated to put a budget like this together and do this kind of work.
Yeah, and last time I was on the show, it was all about client relationships and sphere, loving on your clients. And so for me, that's what it started with when I first got in the business. It was pop buys and it was, client care. And then when I got into video, those two worked hand in hand, right? So a lot of these videos are going in my newsletters too. And I'm multi-purposing them. But yeah, like I said earlier, every agent has their thing that you're good at. And like I said, it could be door knocking, it could be calling expires, it could be something. And so whatever that is, hone in on that and get great at it, And so for me, it was client care and relationships, and it's video. And I used video and social not to replace relationships. I kind of used it to accelerate them. And, and I think that's why those two sides of my business play so nicely together, and, content really just became an extension of my business. Granted, it feels like a whole second full-time job, but it amplified what I was already doing, right? It showed off more of the local involvement that I already had, just nobody knew that I had that. It showed off my community knowledge that I had, that nobody knew that I had that. It showed off some of the client care and events that not many people knew that I was doing, and so it just amplified what I was doing.
Something you said to me earlier, Vince, this was really smart, and I haven't heard this before. I'm sure others do it, but Marie, you mentioned this. When you're making these videos, you're not just thinking one video. you're thinking, I'm going to I'm going to put money into this. I'm going to shoot a lot of footage, and I'm going to cut it so I have multiple pieces of content to make over and over and over. So you're not thinking one video, one shot, you know, one ad buy.
Yeah.
You're replicating these and snippets of over and over
Well,
and over again. That's good strategy.
Yeah, and the reality is it's time consuming, it's expensive, it takes a lot. And so if I'm gonna spend the time and the money doing it, like I want to have as many videos as I can. And I want to get eyes on my sellers' homes if we don't sell right away. And a lot of my listings are just not selling right away. And that's the reality of my market. And I know other places are heading there too. And so, I want to 4 months down the road be able to call my videographer and be like, hey, I want that one video we shot with this trending music edited. So he doesn't edit them all up front. We just edit them as we need them and go. And often if a home sells fast, like bummer, I didn't get to use all of them, but I'll still have them do a couple more that I can do maybe a pending or a sold or just like an example of a marketing piece. And so I'm not losing anything by doing that many. It kind of just becomes part of my marketing portfolio, and that's kind of how I look at it is, yeah, it's a ton of time up front, but best case that home sells and I'll just bank the videos or not have them edit them. So
Smart, so smart.
Guys, Marie, it's an honor to have you on here. You're just killing it, doing a great job. I always learn something and am entertained. Mark, appreciate everything that you continue to do here. And we're going to a lot more of these. Mark and I would tell you, love doing these podcasts. We hope you guys are learning something from this. We're going to continue to do these. Like I said, we've got a long-term arrangement here with Mark and 1000 Watts. So guys, thank you for taking your time to tune in. Take an idea or two out of here today. Go implement it in your business in the next week or two. And again, as Mark says, don't copy and paste it, right? Make these be ideas that allow you to go out there and personalize it to what you're doing to attract your clients to you and build relationships. Sam, we always appreciate you and all the support from your team, brother.
100%.
Thank you very much to all of you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you, guys.
Be well.